Hey, what's up? Miss Tyra here, Tyra Banks, and I'm all about that flossum. F to the L to the A to the W to the S-O-M-E. Flossum, where flaws are awesome.
Hey guys, it's Kirby. Welcome to Pretty Unfiltered. My guest today needs no introduction.
And no filter.
And no
Unless
filter.
we're on Instagram.
Which I think that you're gonna have to show me some of your tricks later. But this is Tyra Banks, people. I'm having like an out-of-body experience right now because I've looked up to you for so long. You're just so amazing to me. And if I can just break it down for a second, Tyra is an entrepreneur. She's an actress. She's a model. She went to culinary school. She's a new mama. So if you're just running down, oh, what is Tyra Banks doing today? It could be a list of anything.
It could be a list of anything. It could be being a gardener.
Being a CEO.
Yeah, that too. We're at my headquarters.
Yes, and it's the cutest little bungalow, guys. I just want to live here. But enough about this lovely bungalow. I do want to talk about your MO, your mantra, which is seeing the model in everyone. Mm-hmm. I think that's super empowering. Where did that come from? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, to me, like cookie cutter beauty is like so boring. And so when I think about like models and the models that I like quirky features and things that are interesting and different to them. And I think some of the best models of our day and in the past had things that made them different, and that's what made them special.
Yeah.
So I see beauty I break down a feature. I'm like, look at those cheekbones. Oh my God, her freckles. She has like 1 trillion freckles on her face. That's amazing. And I'm not talking about models. I'm talking about women and men everywhere. Mm-hmm. So I see the model in everybody. And I feel like now, like everybody can see the model in themselves with social media.
Totally.
So now it's like not just I see it, now they can see it. And you know, if you got a camera and you can do a duck lip, I feel like everybody has some model in them.
You know what? You touched on a few things that made me really excited. First of all, you said men and women.
Yeah.
So inclusive because men in beauty are huge. I love watching men do a makeup tutorial just as much as I love watching a woman.
My gosh, like Patrick Starr is absolutely
gorgeous.
Hello,
Patrick Starr. Can I just tell you, I went to an event and he said, you know what? I'm trying to be Tyra Banks. Like, I'm gonna be the next Tyra Banks. So, Patrick, got your back, boo. You've coined the term flossum,
yes,
which I think is great because it takes a negative and turns it into a positive.
Yes, flaws plus awesome equals
flossom.
Yes.
So, tell me, do you have any current flaws, or have you had a flaw that turn into an asset?
Many.
I'm looking at her.
I just know how to work them, and so you don't see them as well. Except for there's one that's on display today. And that's my 5 head. I don't have a 4 head, I have a 5 head. I know some of you guys are like, girl, 5, more like 6. So whatever number that you want to count to, I totally accept that. And when I see like people that have big foreheads, like in public, sometimes I'm like, I'll go up to them and be like, oh my God, forehead sister.
Like, reunite.
Yes.
Reunite.
And it's so funny because when I first started modeling, I didn't even really know I had a forehead issue, and some modeling agencies were like, it's kind of high. One modeling agency that signed me was like, we wouldn't have signed you if your forehead was smaller because you would have looked a little too safe.
See, and I love that.
Yeah. And then I also had, my friend's boyfriend for years would call me Tweety Bird. Because he said, like Tweety Bird, you know, the cartoon character has like a really big forehead and it's kind of golden colored and like kind of a small chin. Mm-hmm. But I made that into an asset.
Yeah, you did. And also, let's talk about Victoria's Secret for a minute too, because when you were initially modeling, you were young.
Yes.
And then you got the curves.
Oh yeah, so I started modeling when I was 15. I was super skinny, and around 19 years old, my booty and my boobies just did something. It was just like, it was like that. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie, it's Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
And do you remember when he starts turning into the Nutty Professor?
And he's like walking all weird.
It's like blue. So like, yeah, things just started popping out as I got older. And I kind of panicked about that because my agency sent a list of designers who didn't want to hire me anymore in Italy.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, you know what we're gonna do about this? And I was like, what? I was crying, I'm on a diet and stuff. My mom's like, no, we're gonna go eat pizza.
And that's a good mom.
Yeah.
That's a good mom.
So we ate pizza, and over a paper on the table, we wrote out a plan. She says, break out a pencil and you write down everybody that likes ass. Big ass.
Yeah.
Your ass.
Go after it.
And so I was like, Victoria's Secret, write it down, she said. I was like, okay. Sports Illustrated, write it down.
Do it.
Yeah, and so we had my agency call those people, and it wasn't like overnight they wanted to hire me.
Totally.
But we had them keep calling, and
you had a vision,
and
you made it happen.
Made it happen.
You wrote it down, you put it in the world, and you made it happen. Now, I do want to talk about media, because obviously it's a big part of your life, but how do you stay positive when places like the media and, for instance, now one of our presidential candidates makes women feel like they have to live up to a certain beauty standard or else they're inferior. How do you stay positive?
You know, I hear a lot of things about myself in the press constantly, and even in social media. And I always tell people, you know, sometimes a lot of people in the public eye will say, oh, it doesn't matter, it's like whatever, and it's like, no, we're human beings, and it can hurt. But I think, you know, it is important to know that what somebody says about you is not who you are, or an expectation that they say you have to be X doesn't mean that you have to live up to what they say. At the same time, I do feel sometimes there is some criticism that hurts, and sometimes the ones that really hurt is like, ooh, damn, that's true. Maybe I do need to do that differently. So I try to segment it. Like, okay, this is just hate and hurtful, and this is really criticizing me, but well, I can learn from that when I step back from my ego and my pain. Like, they're right, I need to change that.
All right, so we have a skincare line to talk about. Yours.
Do we?
Yes. So if you guys don't know, Tyra Beauty, 1 year old.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So amazing.
Cosmetics company.
Started with cosmetics, and now she's branched into skincare. And what I have to say is that's very rare for a cosmetics line to go into skincare. A lot of people like to stay in their own lane. You're like, nope, we're gonna merge these. That's gonna be great. Why was that important to you?
It's important to me because so many people ask me, like, oh my gosh, why do you look so young? Why do you look so young? And you know, and they're like, oh,
you're 27 at heart.
I'm 20. You understand? Exactly. 27 at heart.
I'm 42 years old. So in Tyra years, I am 27.
And there's a reason why. And it's not because of the makeup that I paint on my face, it's because of the habits that I've done since I was 2 years old. But my mom like pushed into me, which was about exfoliation. Now for us, it was a washcloth. And she said, you have to do it all over your entire body, on your face. That's something that I really, really grew up with and was really kind of vigorous with it as I got older. But now that I've reached a certain age, I realize that that washcloth is not enough.
All right, so let's talk about
these. So the first product is the Clean Machine. So this is a foaming face wash that is absolutely amazing, infused with blood orange complex, because blood orange has a lot of personal like connections to me. So this is the secret weapon.
Okay.
And there are micronized crystals in this.
I love that this is travel friendly too.
Yes, and patent pending technology.
Okay, we see the CEO over here. Finally, we have the closer.
Yeah, the closer is really great because the closer pretty much is like the secret weapon's friend. Okay. Once you have exfoliated your skin, it's important to then hydrate and protect it.
Totally.
Taking off that tiny little layer, so the closer does what? It closes, you know, that beautiful skin and preps it for you to just go out in the world.
So this is the last question. Our time has been so lovely and you've been so much fun. But what advice would you give to a woman who maybe compares herself to other women, or maybe even someone like you who's been a supermodel and so accomplished in her career?
You know, it's so important, and my boyfriend said this today, like I'm just very stressed, and skincare launch and so many other things, and I have to go, and get tired at times and worn down, and he's like, stop, slow down, and think about all the good things that you've done. Think about all the things that you have accomplished, that you are accomplishing, and stop going into this like, oh, woe is me. And so, as a model, I knew that I was a very successful model. There was always somebody more beautiful with a better body. I would look over there at Giselle and I'd be like, whoa, no cellulite. She's running and jumping up and down and swinging left and right and not a dimple in her butt. But my butt looks like if you squeezed it like this, there's dimples, and you let go and it stayed. Every single Victoria's Secret fashion show, I always had like a little something back there. A lot of the models would get jealous because they're like, why does she get a train? And why does she get a little skirt? And child, I was covering up the dimples in my ass. Adriana Lima would walk backstage, washed face, looked absolutely amazing. She could get her makeup done in 10 minutes. Mine took 2 hours. Or, you know, the whole weave and the hair and the base and all the stuff that I had to do to be transformed. If I focused on Giselle and focused on Adriana and how amazing they were, I wouldn't want to get up out of bed in the morning.
Yeah.
So I had to really say, I have to be created, but once I'm there, I can compete.
Amazing. Tyra, this has been such an amazing interview for me personally. Career-wise, I'm like, I met Tyra Banks, and she was just as lovely as I thought. So guys, let me know in the comment section below what you want to see on next week's episode, who you want to see. I know you guys were really excited when I was on Instagram saying, I'm gonna meet Tyra Banks today, so let me know. Hit me up at Kirby Johnson on Instagram and Twitter, and Kirby.Johnson on Snapchat. Tyra, Where can we find you?
I'm Tyra Banks. I am myself. When on Snapchat, I'm Tyra Banks for real. But I'm Tyra Banks on Twitter, Tyra Banks on Instagram, Tyra Banks on all that stuff.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, Tyra, and I'll see you guys next week.
Okay, bye.